Swordsoul Tenyi received incredible new support in Supreme Darkness. Let's talk about it. For the monsters, I play one copy of each major Swordsoul monster. With the new Tenyi cards, you have other ways to access your engine, so you don't need to play these as your starter cards. And with 3 copies of Emergence, you can just grab whichever one you need for the situation. Despite not having Baron anymore, Long One is still a good extender. Mojo opens up the best of your plays by digging deeper into your deck and accessing Yugioh. And Taya allows Emergence to be a 1-card combo, as well as another name that you can tutor from your deck. These cards are also very good against the Mulcharmies, seeing as they conjure a token from outside of the game. You can still make a formidable field for any of the Mulcharmies. As for the Tenyi part of the deck, I have 3 copies of the new Yugioh. This is a very good extender, and also being a tuner helps bridge the gap in your deck. Then I play 3 copies of Ashuna. Be mindful that its effect to special summon from the deck locks you into worms, so if you need to start with this to access your engine, your board will be a little bit different, but still very powerful, thanks to Protoss. Then I play 2 copies of Vishuddha. This card is not as good as it was 3 years ago, but having an in-engine compulsory evacuation device on legs helps you beat your opponent's boards. Then I play 3 copies of Adhara. While not being the best card by itself, it is a level 1 tuner, so it's very good with some of the other cards we play in this deck. And for the last Tenyi, we play 1 copy of Shatana. The effect of Shatana is pretty situational, but it is a level 4 extender, and having a level 4 non-tuner Tenyi now comes up with Yugioh. And for the last worm in our deck, we play 1 copy of Arch Nemesis Protoss. If you control a Synchro monster, Emergence can search this directly from your deck, and you can search Emergence with Yugioh. So there's a very easy way to access Protoss directly from your engine. And Protoss calling Light against Ryzeal, or Dark against Maliss, is just game over. As these Swordsoul and Tenyi engines are quite small, I decided we needed a supplementary engine. Therefore, I decided to play the Fiendsmith engine, consisting of 3 copies of Engraver, 1 copy of Lacrima, 1 Lurry, 2 copies of Tract, and the 1 Fiendsmith in Paradise. There are ways to play the Swordsoul Tenyi deck without the Fiendsmith cards. By playing a larger Swordsoul package consisting of 3 Mojay, and perhaps more copies of Long One, you're still able to have a consistent deck, but I believe the Fiendsmith engine just pairs so well with the rest of your Swordsoul Tenyi deck, as having level 4 and level 6 non-tuners are very good for your synchro plays, and having the Fiendsmith in Paradise is just another layer of your endboard. Additionally, with the banning of Baron de Fleur, this deck is quite weak to Nibiru, the primal being, so being able to make a Caesar to have the counterplay to Nibiru is very good. So that's why I'm playing a Fiendsmith engine in this deck. For the rest of the engine cards, I play 3 copies of Emergence, a searcher for any Swordsoul card, 1 copy of the new Tenyi Infinity. You can search Infinity off of Mula Adhara, and with Infinity you can search either Vessel or Heavily Dragon Circle directly from your deck to your hand. This is how the Tenyi engine can bridge into Swordsoul without wasting the Yugioh search on your Swordsoul cards. I decided to play both of these just as 1 copy, seeing as they're okay extenders if you were to draw them, but I prefer being able to search them from the deck with Tenyi Infinity. And for the last engine card, I play 1 copy of Swordsoul Blackout. Being a removal trap you can search in your combo, or an extender if you banish this from the deck with Yugioh. And for the non-engine, I play 3 copies of Mulcharmy Fuvalos, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. For the extra deck, I play 2 copies of Monk of the Tenyi. The second one comes up in the grind game. It's very important to have a non-effect monster on your field for your Tenyi effects to work. 1 copy of Fiendsmith's Requiem, 1 copy of Sequence, and 1 Moon for the Fiendsmith links, and then 1 copy of Shaman of the Tenyi. And for the XYCs, I play just 1, being DDD High King Wave Caesar. And for the Synchro monsters, I play 1 copy of Yasi, Evil of the Jiang Xing. This card is a big reason why the Fiendsmith engine is so good in this deck, because you can make Adhara and an Engraver into Yasi, destroy one of your opponent's cards, and special summon a Worm monster directly from your deck. Then I play 1 copy of Tenyi Spirit Mula Adhara. This card can search any field spell in the game, so in our side deck we have some Floodgate field spells that we can search post side, and 1 copy of Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, being a good end piece as well as the OTK enabler. Then I play just 1 copy of Swordsoul Grandmaster Yugioh. In a more pure version of Swordsoul Tenyi, I would play 2 of this, seeing as it does come up in the grind game, but there isn't enough space in this kind of a deck for it. Then I play 1 copy of Baxia, Brightness of the Jiang Xing. Baxia is a great tool for dealing with your opponent's field, and allows for some nifty combos with Taya. And for the Soul level 10 synchro, I play 1 copy of Shengjing. This is yet another reason why Fiendsmith in Paradise is so vital for this deck, seeing as you can use Fiendsmith in Paradise to banish it from the graveyard, and then trigger Shengjing. And for the fusions, I play 1 copy of Princess, and 1 copy of Desiree for the Fiendsmith engine. For the side deck, I side 3 copies of Meowls. As I talked about in my Mermail deck profile, I think this card is very good against Maliss and some of the Fiendsmith variants. Seeing as Swordsoul, similar to Mermail, is a deck where you can easily break your opponent's field, so having cards like the Mulcharmies which give you more cards while stopping your opponent from making the best endboard they could possibly make is, in my opinion, a better strategy than throwing free hand traps at them and hoping that you can push through their non-engine. Then I side 3 copies of Nibiru, the Primal Being. I'm citing Nibiru's for when I go first mainly against the combo decks, because when you play a Fiendsmith deck, you can almost always win in a grind game. And having Nibiru and just making a half board is usually enough to make sure that you survive to the next turn. Then I have one copy of Necro Valley. You can search this, as I mentioned before, off the Tenyi Synchro. And if you need to turn this off to enable your own plays, you can remove it with Baxia or negate it with Desiree. Then I have one copy of Summon Breaker. Depending on how the metagame shapes up, I might just play one of these, as you already have Protoss to lock out their special summoning, so it's not as vital. Then I play one copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, and 2 copies of Lightning Storm to remove their back row, 1 copy of Call by the Grave, and 3 copies of Solemn Strike, being just an all-around very good card to have with your board. If you enjoy my content, make sure to also subscribe to my second channel, linked in the description box down below. There I'll be posting more personalized and exclusive content.